Thank you. Thank you. All right, got somebody else coming up to the stage. What you need to know? How you doing?
Hi, hi, hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Look, the fit lawyer, I enjoyed you and lead today. Even though AV wasn't there today, I enjoyed you being there. So even though AV not here, we enjoy you
Thank
and
you.
we love you being here.
Thank
But my thoughts is, I think the jury ready to go home,
you. Hmm.
and I think they're gonna come to a decision tomorrow.
Hmm.
And my opinion is, Yak going home. But
Hmm.
Shannon, I think Shannon gonna get some time, and the reason why I think he's gonna get some time is because of those jail phone calls, and
Yeah.
that's the reason why.
Yeah. They were talking on the jail phone calls. The jail phone calls and the wiretaps. That's some more of that circumstantial evidence that they can use against them, right? They telling on themselves.
Right, right, and that's my issue. Now, if they wouldn't have had him on them jail phone calls talking to Miss Betty, talking about get rid of the phones, I think Shannon would have been all right.
Mm.
The murders are null and void. You
Mm.
cannot convict DK or Shannon for either one of those murders. We specifically seen that car pull up, and as soon as that car pulled up, after Shannon left, that's whenever the brake lights went off twice. That boy got hit twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
His foot went off the brake twice. That's the way I'm seeing it, and I'm looking at the trial.
Mm-hmm. It looked
And
like
I'm
the car.
thinking that's what everybody else seen, and the jury seen it too.
Mm-hmm. I'm
So
with you.
regardless of what, Shannon didn't kill that boy.
Mm-mm. No, I agree.
And
Agree.
Yak did not kill Peanut.
Mm-mm. No.
And if
Who?
you and,
I
and
don't
if
know.
you ask me, and if you really want to be honest, I really think Woody and Threat did it.
Mm. The state
I
said
really do.
they weren't gonna let Woody say that because they said they got evidence that he didn't do it. But I don't know. We'll
I,
never
I,
know.
I I don't believe them.
Yeah.
They just going by phone records. And how
Yeah.
far was Woody? What, less than a block away?
Yeah.
Come on now. I
Yeah.
believe he did it. If Woody said he shot up
The barbershop.
Rich Homie Quan barbershop, and then he turned around and stole Peanut necklace and stuff, Woody
Mm.
already know it was on and popping.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think Woody did it, to be honest.
Woody did say I did these
I
crimes.
did these crimes. Where is he at?
Okay. Thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate your opinion. We're
All
gonna
right, the fit lawyer.
thank you so much. What you need to know. Good to meet you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I'll be watching.
Yes, me too. Me too. Y'all, we are on Verdict Watch. So Woody just went live at a 20v1 in North Carolina. I just got to pop up. So I don't think that was him in the chat. So, but yes, y'all, we don't know who did these murders, but she's right though. I told y'all about these jail phone calls, the jail phone calls, the wiretaps, they were damaging, and the jury heard them, and Miss Hilton played them again so they could hear them. So I don't know what's gonna happen on that. Thank you so much. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We are on our first Verdict Watch together on YouTube. I'm so excited. I've been waiting on this since last week. So yeah, so Rico holds a sentence of actually 5 to 20. So they could get as little as 5 and up to 20. GSR science. So funny you say this, LOL, because in my murder case that I had at trial, and it's funny, the state will argue whatever works for their case. So if we'll remember in the Fonnie Willis, DA Fonnie Willis, put some respect on her name, hearing, they brought up the phone records to prove that Nathan Wade had been driving over to her house at night, right? But then when she testified, they said that those records weren't that accurate. They don't pinpoint a particular spot. They only get you to like a small, like an area, and he could have been anywhere within that area, right? But then we turn around to the YSL trial, and these same phone records are supposed to put the guys at the scene of the crime. They actually did it, and they're basing it all off the phone records. Same with the GSR. I've had a trial before where the it was a murder case, and the officer for the state testifies and said that GSR is not all that accurate. They don't really do the testing. If there's a lot of people, if you're anywhere around a gun going off, GSR is going to be on you. So if you're sitting in a car and somebody walks up, puts a gun in and shoots somebody, everybody in the car is going to have GSR on them. So it's not going to help you decide who pulled the trigger or anything. However, we get to this case, and now GSR is like the open and shut nail in the coffin. The state, they play the games. Like whatever will work for them in their case, that's what they're going to argue and use. But in this case, I mean, it is a scientific test. If it exists, there was none found on Shannon and none found in the vehicle. Like literally none. Am I really supposed to think that Shannon Yak from Cleveland Avenue was sophisticated enough to go clean a vehicle after committing a murder in it to where there's no evidence, no GSR anywhere in the car? But then what did they try to say? Well, maybe it is just not on the PC tested. What they do that at? Well, then you go back and keep testing. Why do you got the car? You got the lining, you took it out. So tested every piece of it to find. How you gonna say, well, maybe it was on another piece or it just wasn't on the piece that we tested? Like when you hear stuff like that, you're like, not guilty, let them go. But as I've always said, the jury has heard everything. They've heard all of the bad. They've heard these jail phone calls. They've heard these wiretaps. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. Does anybody else want to come up and share their opinion? The link is pinned at the top. Yes, Juice Lab, they threw spaghetti at the wall to see what would stick. They threw literally everything. That's what they do, right? Just like a new artist coming out, you throw everything at the wall until something hit and take off. Like that's exactly what the state was doing. They were just throwing it all out there. And but to actually have, I don't want to play the race card, right? But I'm Vivarito gonna tell me, right, what my rap lyrics say. How does she know? I took offense. I'm like, and then you making up stuff. Like you hear something and you assume with your ears that this is what it means. And so now I'm not the person that says you can never use rap lyrics as evidence. No, if a person commits a crime and they actually go rap about that crime, and I'm able to hear you rap about the crime and independently go confirm the evidence that places you committing this crime, I don't have a problem with that. But I do have a problem with you trying to assume 24 M's on a ninja head means Thug put 24 M's on somebody's head, or you're trying to assume, no, not that. But if you actually like get on a jail phone call or go online and snitch on yourself and actually say what you did, and now that draws my attention to you, and now I go investigate that, and I do find evidence that you did this outside of this song, then yes, right, there's a connection. But not just some white detective sitting back somewhere trying to think they know what a lyric means or whatever. We know what these lyrics mean. We know what these songs mean. Like I thought some of that was a stretch. There, for always, forever, for life says yes. Rap lyrics are open to interpretation, so that's a hard one. They are. However, if they lead you somewhere to where you then find evidence, like hard facts and evidence, okay, but not just you sitting here telling me what you think the lyric means and you put that in a warrant to go get a warrant. Like the 24 M's is ridiculous. Like who puts 24 million on somebody's head? That doesn't even make any sense. That makes no sense at all. Vivarito is a mess. And Dennis, oh man. Detective Dennis. And I've actually used Detective Dennis in a case before as a gang expert. And he was good. He found out in about 10 minutes that my client was the one that was in a gang and not the victim like we were trying to let. So he did his job. So he was good, but he told his case up. But the problem was he let his ego get in the way. When they started questioning his credentials, he didn't just stand on them and answer the questions. And you have to know you're going to get cross-examined on your credentials. But he got mad. He got in his feelings and he said some stuff that he shouldn't have said. And the judge handled that in the right way. But yeah, that was the kind of follow the detectives in this case gave her. She wasn't any better to find out that she was sleeping with somebody's in the case auntie. Didn't that come out when somebody was on the stand? Like, this case is just a mess. Like, I'm like, the detective sleeping with the defendant's aunt, it was just too much, like too crossover. Like Atlanta's way bigger than that. Now the detective shouldn't be sleeping with, but then we got attorneys married to defendants. Lord Jesus, there's a lot going on in this case. I'm gonna tell y'all the movie. I'm gonna be there front and center whenever the movie comes out. It's gonna be fine. So, what now? Shoot, Columbus Baldwin. And I actually tried to grab a comment before this one, but let me read this one. Columbus Baldwin says, Misfit Lori, the car that made the U-turn already had its blinker on when it came into view. In other words, it was going to make a U-turn anyway. It had nothing to do with the hearing anything. Good point. I didn't notice that. I did not notice that. I know I heard, I think it was Max maybe saying that maybe they U-turn to go to the liquor store, or somebody saying maybe they Hilton or some they U-turn to go to the liquor store or something, possibly, or forgot something at the house and hit a U-turn. But I did not notice that the blinker was on already. So that's a good point to point out. But what about the car before that that stopped after Shannon and Quay were already gone? What are we saying about that car? Because that car sat there a long time next to Drinks' car. However, they could have been noticing that something was going on and looking like, dang, somebody just shot. Oh boy, people really ignorant in Atlanta, right? So it can happen like that. So, but the point is the fact that it can happen like that. The car in the back could have been turning around because they were already planning on it, or could have heard something. The fact that somebody was walking by and they didn't react, like all of that is doubt. And all of that doubt is reasonable doubt. So, which leads to not guilty. So I still think we'll be not guilty. Hey, best friend. Hi, Katanya. This is one of my best friends in the chat. So, hey, best friend. Here Hair Alchemist 504 since 199. Dorito Burrito, that expert BBL joke. Yeah, y'all was calling that lady some of everything. She probably gonna be putting wiretaps on all our phones because Kayla thought she had to tap her phone. So y'all gonna have the burrito tapping all of our phones.